So I'm gonna express and explain what it's like to be the child of a hoarder. And my relative, I'll just say, is, why would I even hide it? I don't know. It's a parent. And they are one of the worst cases that you can't really research one that's worse than this. I've considered writing a book about it, even trying to, I don't know, in hopes of preventing other people like me from existing the way that I grew up and the way that, my other parent has to still live and tolerate. And it still just wears on me. I mean, it's just like, from my earliest memories, we had a fairly happy, it seemed that way anyway, happy family. But when you're so young, all the fighting, the yelling and screaming, the infidelity that occurs because of these issues, these diseases that both of my parents have, that I have to try to balance when God, it's like I've been a psychologist and a psychiatrist since I was like 5 years old. And before you even get into it, it's just looking back, remembering all the screaming so loud that, a 4-year-old child should not be hearing stuff like that. And that alone displaces you from just sociality, from being social, being able to connect with other people, because you don't know what's right and wrong, and you don't understand. And so it started before I was even born, apparently. And we had I think it was a 2 or 4 car garage. And from my earliest memories of the home being built up, because we would just go and rent movies once a week. We had Sega and Nintendo, and I'd wake up every morning marking days on the calendar at 4 years old, planning how I'm going to spend my day playing in the yard. Shit like that, right? Well, it started because eventually they would clean it out until the garage got full. And the house got full. So we couldn't go into the living room anymore. We didn't have family days. All we had were weekends. Spent at thrift stores, swap meets, garage sales. And it's just, I'm only saying all this because my parents are getting older now. And no matter how intelligent I am, or anyone is, sometimes you just can't help people. And, this is true hoarding. This is as bad as it really gets. And it's a reflection, it's a rebound on both of their illnesses. And so anyway, I fill up the garage, I fill up the house, which is a 2-bedroom house, a bathroom, a hallway, decent sized kitchen. It's a nice house. It really was. We had a huge yard, beautiful trees, long driveway, about a 50-yard driveway. And so eventually, it's one car after another. Each car starts breaking down, gets parked, never moves again. Each car's filled up. Multiple vans, multiple sedans. it got so bad at that location, and that's just the first house, where the entire driveway was basically filled up. You only had enough space just to barely pull in. After a while, we get to 4th grade. One of my parents is institutionalized, and reading the articles, I mean, it could be mold in the home, the depression, the disconnection that you had, that, you know, the lack of romance and just genuine embracing of one another because of the infidelity too that occurred previously. It builds over time. And so you left considering, you know, but he always, well, I said he, so yeah, my father, right? So he has his own illnesses that you have to overcome, and those are really, really bad. I mean, they're bad. It's trying to analyze through all of this. And grow up in this environment. So we get, you know, like I had to move to my grandmother's. My mother moved there too. Starts filling up the house, my grandmother's house. So my grandfather passed. So my grandmother couldn't sleep anymore in their bedroom. She couldn't take it. You know, they had been together since they were homesteaders, basically, right? It just destroyed her when he passed away. And so she slept in the sunroom for the rest of her life. And because of that, my mother started filling up my grandmother's house, using it as excuses. And then eventually it spread to the living room. I'm sleeping on a mattress on the living room floor. And it was a nice mattress. It's just that over those years, which were 4 years, no, 2 years, 4th grade to 6th grade, before we moved to another town, my mother had filled up basically like a 1,200 square foot garage, 4-car garage that was empty when we moved there, and it was filled up, and then the house was filled up, and so by the time I'm 12, you know, things are kind of looking okay. I'm still managing my sanity because I'm still capable of enjoying school and getting out and, you know, lying to myself. And it creates a psychosis in children. That we moved then to this beautiful home. Like, I scored the school record for placement tests. I almost got the state record. I almost had a perfect score, basically. And the truth is, I chose to answer some questions wrong because I didn't want too much attention. I also didn't want, you know, to be, you know, called a cheater or something. I liked my class is what it was. I loved my class. I had really, really great kids in my class. So I chose to stay with them. Anyway, so we move to this beautiful old home. Victorian era, built in the 1800s. It's just like a dream come true. 2-car garage, entire workshop. I mean, the garage was as big as some people's homes. And 2 stories. One room was supposed to be my room, right? Eventually they got filled up. And that goes back to the original house where my bedroom was stolen from me. Eventually my father and I had to sleep on like just enough space for 2 people because everything was just taken up by stuff. Anyway, so this workshop, you know, that was supposed to be for me. Put my music gear in there because I became a drummer. I had natural aptitude for it. and was scoring perfect scores at band contests and things. So people gave me drums. I got invested in them. Anyway, eventually that garage got filled up. And it took about 2 years before the house started getting filled up. So we couldn't go into the living room, couldn't go into the game room. We were supposed to buy a whole housing pool table because I'm really good at pool. And that never happened. It was like a $25 Walmart pool table, the cheapest fucking thing that you could ever imagine. And it gets all filled up, so throughout my high school days, from middle school all the way to graduation, this is a pretty big house, completely filled up. Can't bring friends over. My friendships all eventually failed because I have to protect this reputation that I'm not in this environment, because it alienates people from one another, and you don't know what it's going to do to somebody's psyche, and just kind of how people in general are. You know, they alienate you because you have an abnormality, and it's just natural instinct to do that. I got filled up. Eventually I go to school, so I padlock my door. In my room, eventually, you know, it stays fine for a while. I eventually give my key to my mother. Moved to Colorado, and started working at a lodge, which we've been friends with the owners apparently for a long time. My mother gets to the point where she retires and starts filling up the rooms of this lodge, filling up all of it. And it's just like, it's a big fucking place, right? I one time calculated, and this was many years ago, she spent over $2.5 million hoarding stuff. And it's probably more than that, honestly. And there was a post office that they invested in, used it as tax deductions, and pretend to own a business that they filled up, and it fell apart. We had an old family friend with a one-car garage and a quite reserved house, maybe 900,000 square feet. Wasn't big, but my grandmother took care of it, and my mother filled that up after my grandmother died, and we inherited the property. Filled that up, and it just keeps going, you know. And now, I mean, storage units, just dozens of them, and it doesn't make any sense. And so I'm trying to help people understand, like, the impact that this has, and, like, it's made me incapable of bonding with people. It's made me incapable of trusting people. You know, no matter how intelligent you are, you can still be damaged. Like, I can't respect money, I think, is one subconscious result of this. And that's why I can't support myself, because I would rather choose to just live in a car, or even just in the bushes, just to escape this idea of money, because of how torturous it's been to keep ripping away at the things that you enjoy in life with the people that are supposed to be your family. Like I said, you know, we used to have movie nights and make ice cream floats, and that's one of my fondest memories between being 4 and 5 years old. Gone because of these diseases. And all the way up to just completely dissociating my connections with my peers, my friends in school, not being able to bring people over anymore because of a fear of Like, and they would start chasing people away if I brought over a girl or something, you know. I dated a girl and they sabotaged the relationship because I brought her over one time. And, you know, they were really creepy about it. They had all the lights off, standing in the doorways, trapping her like she couldn't leave. So you don't get to have those normal childhood experiences. Like, you don't do that to people. And two, they don't understand how this impacts like locality and reputation. Eventually the house was stolen from us, so I have no home to go back to. If I can't afford rent, I'm gonna lose everything that I care about because of this. I can't hold jobs because, like, my sense of issue with authority, like, I snap. So I lose all my jobs that I've ever had. I can't function, and I know that's not an excuse, but it's how it wires your brain. Like, I mean, if you pinch somebody every single day, they're gonna start to worry about being pinched every single day, right? And how do you get over that? How do you stop somebody who's been pinched and tormented from being just all of a sudden accepting of any human touch? It really just wires you. And kids that grow up in these environments, like, I remember going on vacations. One time explicitly was the worst. We only made it a few hours before the entire car was full, and I had to sit in a space that I could not move in, and they would laugh at me. It was horrible. For 7 days. Yeah. Could not hardly fucking move. And I don't know, my point is just trying to just think of, like, maybe I should just write a book about it, how to overcome things, maybe what could be different. Even to this day now, like, I think it's consciously wired me to just sit still while they can't sit still. Yeah, that's what it's like living and growing up in a schizophrenic, hoarding household. It's just we can, you can't, torture mentality. They used to bicker and yell at me for chewing with, like, my mouth open, making smacking sounds. Guess what? Everybody fucking smacks their goddamn food, and it drives me nuts. They do. The rest of the family does. But, yeah. It's crazy. It just twists you and twists your mind around and around and around. And, what else? So, reading articles about it, this inability for hoarders to even recognize their disease, it's true. Like, no matter how long, it's always the same cycle of arguing, my father blaming my mother blaming my father. He's crazy, she's crazy, can't stand each other, this and that, left and right, back and forth, all the live long day, every year, and just cycles until you get to a new holiday, and they get euphoria. After that's gone, then you get psychotic periods, psychotic breaks. And you gotta, like, for instance, I went to school to study how to build instruments, and I graduated pretty much top of my class. My teachers raved on my instruments. And a music store that I grew up going to promised me a job when I got out. They didn't give me a job. And then, like, I started applying places throughout the country. Nobody would hire me. No idea why. Maybe it's just my voice. Maybe the way I talk, you know. It's part of it. I tried. You know, I tried to find a good girl. I took chances. And it is just eventually shit just does not work out for me. And I'm not some saint, you know, but my eyes are so, I don't even sleep anymore. And it's because I know an inevitable shitstorm is coming towards my life. As if anything has ever been good. Because to me, my life is moments of experiencing something almost happy. Just to take it away. Just to rip it away. It's just been a consistent pattern. And it's just, when's the next tragedy going to happen to make me regret waking up every day even more? I mean, I already beg space and time. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. Yet I'm still talking to God, hoping that he'll fucking sever this existence from me. I just, I want to sleep and never wake up. Some of the only times that I experience anything are the best times when I don't dream and I sleep. And it's nothing. No dreams. I wake up and it's like I didn't exist. Those are when I wake up and I remember feeling nothing. And it's better. And whether or not it's hoarding, maybe I have my own mental illnesses, you never know. Sometimes I think I'm catatonic. Because I'll be driving and it's like I'm gone. It's like I'm not even there, and yet I'm still driving. And it's just like my brain is gone. It's like I'm shut off, and I don't know who I am, what I am. And I hate those moments. So uncomfortable. And I have to retrain, rethink, reassociate myself with who I am. Whether or not that comes from a hereditary mental illness or fuck knows what, right? That it could also be some sort of subconscious escape that my brain and body are so fucked up. Could be head injuries, because I've had a lot of them, where just symptoms of an impending migraine too. That'll always make me vacant. Migraines are also something I suffered from. They suck. They're horrible. Now my eyes are just, because I haven't been sleeping, and see how tired I am. It looks like I've been punched in the face. 2 hours at a time. I'm sleeping like 2 hours. Up for 12. Not fun. Because my brain is so active. and yet it's not active. So when I sleep, I don't actually sleep. And so, like, I can live in a different world in my head. I can, like, construct them, basically, and experience things. And watch them when my eyelids are closed. Like writing a movie on the fly. And all I now my experience is that I'm about to lose the last of my family because all my other family is just fucking garbage. They're horrible, horrible people. God, it just is this pathetic, sad, sobby, nonsensical story of some guy who might have had some potential, way too much potential, that couldn't figure it out, how to escape the hell that is his fucking mind. No, what? I look like I have an excuse. I don't know how you'd feel sorry for me. I don't know, it's not even what I'm looking for. It's more like in hopes that nobody else has to ever fucking be like me. Right? That these hoarders, they don't understand. And I've tried and tried and tried. I'm an honest person with my parents, I'm blunt. And they still just don't get it. They can't. Because there's no way to go back and change and fix things. So all that does is add extra stress that, we fucked up. So now you're stuck with that too. That little bit of variable that you gotta work around. Just so that you can try to enjoy the rest of your time with these people. Like, it's not always bad. It's not all bad. Otherwise, I would have murdered them. Right? Like, it's not like I was tortured or something, beaten. It was just all psychological. And what do you do? How do you stop this issue in society? People need a way. And like where does it come from? It's kind of like megalomania, right? Hoarding in a way. It's the reason why they're incapable of understanding other people's emotions is because they want so much property and ownership that then other people too are inherent in that, and that we strive to make as much money in life as possible. And that concept correlates to the same thought experiment of a sheriff that can kill injustice. Will his child be able to kill in I want to say vain, but not necessarily weird. It's more like, if you can kill injustice, can you kill an injustice by generations past? That the ability to do something is inherent in the genetics. So I don't even know if I'm going to upload this.